Hello everybody. So this video is entitled Hype's Run. Hyperliquid is running. The Hype token from the Hyperliquid platform is absolutely running on comments from the President of the United States. And the run has been absolutely outstanding. The token since that press conference is up 37% in a matter of about 2 days, and the dot that I've been talking about on this channel, which is PURR, ticker symbol PURR, is actually up a whopping 52%. And that makes me uncomfortable. Hyperliquid strategies up a whopping 52% from that announcement, 45% if you look at the past 5 days. The token itself up, 37, 38, even 39%, depending on how you look and which time frame you look at. So a few takeaways here. First of all is, unfortunately, the crypto discounts are evaporating so fast, and that's quite annoying, actually. The volatility cuts both ways, and the volatility has been ruthless. Do you remember the drops in January, in November of last year, in February? That ruthless volatility to the downside, that really cuts, like catching a fall in life. The volatility to the upside is just as ruthless, and it continues to be absolutely crazy. Of course, the other day I was talking about Moderna up 150%. Well, what do I see? I see one of my stocks in 2 days up 50% in 2 days. So that's very annoying. The big question is the opportunity closing to add to crypto? And the answer to that is, first of all, I don't know, but also, this is a very tweet-driven market. This is a market that's driven by the words of three men. And the words of three men can make some asset go up 50% or down 50%. So handling this market has been quite stressful, to say the least. And I'm tempted to say, when I see this rise, I'll give you what I think. I'm tempted to say this is a good time to sell calls, right? This is a good time to sell cover calls. If history is an indication, when an asset goes up this much, it's going to mean revert. Maybe next week it will be only up 20% or something like that. So this is a good time to sell covered calls. But this is annoying because I liked Hyperliquid strategy. I've been covering many times on the channel. Some of my least viewed videos, actually. I liked Hyperliquid very much, but my thesis for investing in Hyperliquid is not a pump on hype from the President of the United States. My thesis for investing in Hyperliquid is the buyback, is the fact that they buy back 99% of their fees. And so if they buy back 99% of their fees, that inevitably makes the token rise. So that has always been my thesis behind Hyperliquid. And I have to look at this run and realize that the stock has run not because of my thesis. The stock has run because of this press conference. You can see it from 2 days ago. It's President of the United States saying exactly this. Mike is working to bring Hyperliquid into the United States. This is literally the only sentence that he said. That sentence made Hyperliquid go 39% in 2 days. And that would be a good thing. I would love to see that if you follow the story of Hyperliquid. He's a Harvard graduate prodigy. I'm not sure. Did he graduate? I'm not so sure. I know he went to Harvard. The guy is a whiz. What he created with Hyperliquid is just absolutely stunning. But he's exiled in Singapore because of U.S. law. So he's not really exiled, but he's running the business in Singapore because it's compliant in Singapore and it's not really compliant in the U.S. And so of course Trump is trying to bring him back to the U.S. because yes, Hyperliquid is technically a U.S. blockchain, right, created by a U.S. founder. But I read this comment in light of other comments that have been said, things like get the Clarity Act done, things like adding to the Bitcoin reserve. He created a Bitcoin reserve but never bought Bitcoin, even though he had said he would. Things like, crypto is going to win so much. Well, we have to look at the facts. Ever since the new administration in the US, crypto has not been winning. Crypto has absolutely not been winning at all since the start of the administration. It's AI who's been winning, not crypto. Crypto has been left in a valley of despair. Not to mention, 1010 was largely triggered by the shutdown and the liquidity fears and the liquidity issues from the shutdown, from payroll not making, from the U.S. government not making payroll, creating a shortfall at the banks. If you remember that, well, that was induced, partially by the leadership. So, be tired of winning. Well, I mean, crypto's been doing okay, I suppose, a little down. Nothing like it, no bleed like it was in the past, but, I am frankly not tired of winning just yet. I'm not really tired of winning yet. I don't know about you. Maybe in AI, some people are tired of winning, but not in crypto. And so, and Middle East was supposed to last a couple weeks. I'm going to say something crazy here, but is the Middle East going to last a couple decades? I mean, there's been conflicts that have lasted couples of decades in that region of the world. So couple weeks to couple decades. I mean, I don't want to be cynical here, but to me, it's tough to trust this move. I would have much rather seen a move like this over, say, a 1 year period from the buybacks. So I'm a little skeptical. In light of history, I'm a little skeptical. And so, as I've reminded you, the main reason why I like Hype is because of the revenue chain, and they burn forever 99% of their fees. That's the reason why I've preferred Hype over Sol. Yes, it's true that a lot of DeFi is happening on Sol. More DeFi is happening on Sol. But the value on Solana is flowing to the layer 2 apps, like it's flowing to the Jupiters of the world. That's where a lot of the value is flowing in Solana. And then the value that makes it onto the Solana network, the buyback is only 50%. So Hyperliquid is kind of a super Solana. It's kind of twice as good because the buyback is 99%, and you've seen this reflected in the token price. But unfortunately, this rise in Hype, like I said, is not due to the buyback. It's not due to the buyback. So and then lastly, over long term, so of course, the market the past 2 days in crypto has not been long-term thinking. But over long-term thinking, this is what I want. The issue that I want to raise is that if Hyperliquid comes to the US, you obviously will need AML and KYC on Hyperliquid. And here's the problem. I'm not sure if that's even possible, because Hyperliquid is a layer 1 blockchain. Is that even possible? Or will there be like a Hyperliquid layer 2 that's only accessible in the US? That's very much the same thing, but with just AML, KYC layered on it. At this point, I'm not even sure that's possible, given how Hyperliquid is built. So like I said, this is not the slow rise I was wanting. This is a huge spike. I would think logic would dictate that it means reverts, but logic has left the market. As the Gen Z say, logic has exited the chat. And logic left the chat something like 10 months ago, so I don't know anymore. Is it perhaps a good time to sell calls? Yes, I believe it is a good time to sell calls, but that's just for me. And I haven't done it yet. I'll let you be the judge of that, whether you think it's a good idea or not. Anyways, as always, I let you be your own judge on everything on this channel, because this is not investment advice. This is not financial advice. This is only entertainment. I'm hoping you're entertained. Please please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.